What's up guys, Sailboat here, and today I'm gonna show you how I turned this Air Max 97 into a golf cleat. Let's get down to it. We gotta first get the laces and the insoles removed from our kicks. Then I'm gonna pour a little bit of acetone in them and let them sit for a few minutes. After that, I'll use a bone folder to start to pry the uppers away from the midsoles and then get in there with the heat gun to further break down the glue bond so I can pry the uppers away as effectively as possible. I gotta do this with caution though, because during this process, I don't want to damage any of my materials to make sure that they're gonna be good for my future swaps. After a little bit of time and hard work, I'm able to get these things completely separated, and luckily this time around I did not damage anything, so both the uppers and the soles will be usable. I have to do the same exact thing for the golf cleats, but honestly I'm not really concerned with keeping these uppers intact because I don't think I'm going to use them for any sort of future projects. So I was definitely a bit rougher with these things, which sped up the process a little bit. Luckily, the soles suffered no damage and I was able to get them detached nice and cleanly. With the soles removed, it's time to prep them up. I'm going to break out a grinding bit on my Dremel and I'm going to work away any of the old factory uppers and factory glue, so then that way I have a nice clean surface that I can apply my glue to. With the soles prepped, I align them onto the uppers and use a heat erasable pen to trace out exactly where the soles will fall onto the uppers so I can get all of my prep work aligned up quite nicely. Once I have my line sketched out, it's time to go back to the grinding bit in Dremel and work these uppers to try to shave down a layer and get rid of all of the factory glue and debris so I again have nice clean adherent surfaces to work through for when I'm going to attach these golf cleat soles. Once I'm done with my Dremel work, I'm going to break out some acetone and cotton balls so that I can wipe down any debris that I might have made during the Dremeling process. I'll do this on the uppers as well, but I'll have to do it more lightly to make sure that I don't damage anything during the process. With everything wiped down with acetone, I can start to apply my barge super stick cement. I'll do 2 layers to both the soles and the uppers about 15 minutes apart from one another, and then let the barge cure for about 5 to 6 hours. After 5 to 6 hours, it's time to heat it up and get everything bonded together. The heat will reactivate the glue, and I'll first start by bonding the toe so I make sure that I have the alignment right in that section. Then I'll bond up the heel. Getting the toe and the heel bonded together first will ensure that the medial and the lateral sides fall into line exactly where they're supposed to, and then I'll finish my reheating process on both the medial and lateral edges before hitting the inner portion of the shoe to make sure that all of my glue is reactivated and bonded. Finally, I'm able to throw in my insoles and lace these things up, and this project is nearly completed. Now that these custom Air Max 97 golf cleats are completed, let's take a closer look. Luckily, the way that these components from the Adidas golf cleats fit on the uppers of these Air Max 97s was pretty much perfect. The sizing worked out really nicely, and I actually think that the shape was pretty on point. Due to the fact that these uppers have been pretty heavily worn, there definitely is a little bit of cosmetic damage, and that made it a lot more challenging to separate this pair cleanly. This custom was a really unique challenge for me because honestly, I tried to get it done as quickly as possible, which is not something I traditionally do with my custom projects. I was really curious to see how hard I could push myself to get these things done quickly, and at the end of the day, they actually came out looking really nice. And I cannot wait to bring them out onto the golf course next season. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think of this sole swap. So please, let me know in the comments below. As per usual, thank you to everybody that stuck around until the cold, bitter end of this video. You guys already know, I'm Sailboat, and I'm out of here.